Years of nice, quiet anxiety. Gone. Along with a whole street.
An accident on purpose, more or less.
Right. A mad elf pushed by zealots, likely hidden in the very groups I have to appease. The Maker has a grand sense of humor. And the Arishok. I suspected he had no plans to leave. I didn't know it was just as annoying for him.
You could send him gold and he'd complain it was heavy.
And it's about to get worse. A shame. There were overtures of civility. Your influence, no doubt.
Do I want to hear what happened?
A Qunari delegate and entourage paid me a visit. It was civil, tentative, hopeful. They left my chambers with precision, but were not reported by the outer guard. They are missing, almost literally, from my doorstep. What do you imagine will be the Arishok's reaction?
Do the Qunari generally keep you updated?
Qunari do not disappear. They know we watch, and they are not shy about their movement. Speak to Seneschal Brown. He has details that show how damning this is.
You have information about the missing Qunari?
I am to help you, yes. Viscount Dumas would appreciate discretion in this matter. I would prefer that you were not involved at all. But that is neither here nor there.
Has anyone reported this to the Qunari?
Maker, no. I'd be signing the messenger's death warrant. He'll find out soon enough, of course. And when he does, the Viscount is rightly concerned that the illusion of peace will dissolve.
I'm having a hard time picturing the abduction of a Qunari entourage.
Unfortunately, they were not at their best. Their swords were tied into their sheaths, as I advised. It seemed a respectful compromise. Even I know you cannot separate a Qunari from his weapon.
The Arishok is growing violent. He might want an excuse to end this peace.
I suspect that if the Arishok wanted to take over, he simply would. For all we fear that heretical Qun of his, its demands have done more to keep him in check than any of our efforts. Besides, would Qunari stoop to trickery? There is no precedent, but there is unfortunate evidence of influence on our side.
It sounds like you don't want them found.
I must think of what is best for the Viscount's office. Bringing attention to such an incident benefits no one.
You would do nothing.
The Qunari are neutral hostiles at best. There is no relationship to salvage by overextending ourselves on their behalf.
So where would you start, if you were the starting type?
I would begin with the most obvious failure. It's clear the City Guard has no excuse for allowing this, unless they were involved. Not coincidentally, a number of recent recruits have failed to report. You should start with one of them. Although where you find a swordsman so eager to sell his honor and duty, I'm sure I don't know.
The Hanged Man.
Hangman.
Even I know that. Right. Then you know what to look for. I can't imagine this has occurred without notice. There is always a weak link.
What do you want, Hawk? I have no interest in adding to my distractions.
And yet you sent a delegate to the Viscount.
A brief attempt to educate. If the dwarf had stolen the Sarkamek, it could have been used to show the price of greed. But you know the outcome of that. These fools are determined to be wrong. I won't waste the effort again.
I'll probably regret this, but you should know your delegate is missing.
Anyone else, and those words would have been their last. You are handling this, not your buffoon of a Viscount.
As best I can.
Then I will wait. But know this, the provocations we have suffered have worked. If this is not resolved, I can fulfill my duty to the Qun with far less annoyance by sifting through rubble.
You're doing well for yourself.
That's right, pal. Tonight I'm paid and blessed, and all I had to do was turn my head. To all my friends. Hey, step back. I know important people. We're gonna show this city what to do with heathen oxmen.
Someone has deep pockets. I want an introduction.
Somebody always wants something. But I don't have to take that anymore. 3 hornheads are just a start. You want some of this? Take it from me and my new friends. Good coin means good friends. Come on!
Feeling a little friendlier?
What? What do you want? I just did what he said. It was more coin than I've ever seen.
Come on. Someone so generous. They deserve recognition.
Templar. It was a Templar. I didn't get the name. We met near the chantry. He said taking these kunari was serving the Maker. I swear, he even had the seal of the Grand Cleric. True is true.
You have got to be kidding me. A Templar?
Her Grace would never be involved in something like this. The man was a drunk. Surely you don't think Grand Cleric Elthina is funding zealots?
Don't forget the kidnapped Kunari. That too.
Keep an open mind, Hawk. Elthina isn't behind this.
The Grand Cleric, please. Tell her... 3 Kunari leave an estate. And let her finish.
Sarah Hawk.
Sister Patrice.
Mother Patrice. Time has changed us both. Grand Cleric Elthina cannot grant an audience to just anyone. What do you want?
Funny how you and issues with the Kunari seem to go together.
And you always assume their side. I was naive when last we met. I did not want you dead, but I felt a death was necessary. That may be too fine a point for you to understand, but you must admit, you came out the better for it.
I know you. And I know someone is abusing the Grand Cleric's seal.
Who are you to question who serves her grace? I am sorry, but I see no reason to let you pass.
How about the fact that her authority was used to abduct Kunari? A pause that says you knew. But does her grace?
The Grand Cleric trusts her stewards to enact the wishes of the Maker.
It sounds like you've been bad. This will shock her grace, no doubt.
Stubborn. All right, Sarah Hawk. If you won't abandon this, let me offer you something. The Templar you seek is a radical who has grown unreliable. Confronting him may do us all a favor.
And his relation to you is?
He is my former bodyguard, Ser Vonel. Assume what you wish, but I offer him to you as reconciliation. Meet me at this location. I invite you, Sarah Hawk. Come see the unrest these Kunari have inspired.
Is something troubling you?
Did you know someone used the authority of your name to instigate a crime against the Kunari?
The path to righteousness is never as straight and narrow as we wish. I truly hoped this would not go so far. But do not trouble yourself. I will step in when it's time.
I'd always welcome your benediction.
Andraste, guide your steps in this difficult time.
Like any beast, remove the fangs and it is lost. They are weak before the faithful of the Maker. The only certainty in their precious Qun is death before the righteous.
Ser Vonel!
Take a knee, faithful. The chantry blesses us.
You claim a blessing when you have used the authority of the Grand Cleric so openly? You have brought wrath down upon you. You remember Sarah Hawk? The Kunari have friends, Templar. How will you answer their allegations?
You want to fight? Face someone whose weapons are not bound.
Righteous! Destroy them!
All right. Time to bring this mess to the Viscount's attention.
Madness! Madness!
That's a word for it.
Chantry involvement. Even if they are fringe elements. Oh, it could not be worse.
Her Grace had no knowledge of this affair. I trust she will deal with it swiftly.
You killed them? All of them?
This group, at least, is crippled.
Then that, at least, is something. Not that it matters now. We have the delegate, but I can't return the bodies to the Kunari in this state. Sarah Hawk, you know the Arishok. What should I do?
Hiding this would only make it worse.
It would, wouldn't it? I'm losing my sense of how to balance this nightmare. I appreciate your help in this matter. As bad as this is, it could have been much worse without you. Kirkwall owes you. I owe you.
So you could not rescue my delegate, but you killed those responsible. How do you explain the condition of their bodies?
A fanatic used them to incite others of his kind.
I accept that.
Well, that was easy.
I have seen every vice and weakness of your kind, and how few of you take responsibility. Your Viscount remains a fool, but you are not. Panahedan, Hawk. I will keep one good thought about your kind.
You have got to hear this, Hawk. There's this tale making the rounds. They're saying you single-handedly fought off a pirate invasion at midnight on the sacred ground of the Chantry.
Don't the stories mention my stunning good looks? What about my cunning wit?
Nope. They skip straight to the part about the lovable dwarf with the gorgeous crossbow and the heart of gold. I try to steer them straight, but you know how stories go. Just don't be surprised if people seem in awe.
What compels you to spin these ridiculous tales?
I love the sound of my own voice, and I'm a compulsive liar. Honestly, I don't know. It's just something I do. There's power in stories, though. That's all history is. The best tales, the ones that last. Might as well be mine.
I find it hard to believe you're spreading these stories without getting something in return.
Well, that just shows what you know, Hawk. The stories are their own reward. You really need to see the look on someone's face when I tell them you ripped the arms off an ogre. Just once.
Wouldn't it make more sense for you to be the main character in these tall tales of yours?
There's a recipe to a good hero, Hawk. It's like alchemy. 1 part down to earth, 1 part selfless nobility, 2 parts crazy, and you season liberally with wild falsehoods. You let that percolate through a good audience for a while, and when it's done, you've got your hero.
I guess all works. A little reverence wouldn't hurt, though.
You're beautiful, deadly, and hang out with fantastic dwarves. It would be a crime if people didn't talk about you. Anyway, I'll quit exaggerating before it goes to your head.
Enchantment! No, Leandra. Leandra.
Shouting won't make him understand you better, you know.
There you are. Where's your mother? Is she feeling all right?
I'm tempted to say she isn't. Just to see your reaction.
Your mother didn't show up for our weekly visit. Is she ill? She is here, isn't she?
No, Gamlin. We haven't seen her all day.
Where could she be?
With her suitor, perhaps?
Suitor? Leandra never mentioned a suitor.
Well, those lilies arrived for her this morning.
White lilies? I know something about that.
Don't just leave me waiting. What is it?
There's a killer in Kirkwall who sends his victims white lilies before he takes them. He's murdered several women already.
No. You're wrong. Leandra is fine.
It doesn't hurt to be optimistic.
Maybe Leandra took another path to my house. I could have just missed her. I'm going back to Lowtown.
You should help Gamlin look for your mother. You might be able to track her more easily once night falls and the streets empty out. All right. The boy and I will stay here in case she returns.
My mother has been taken by the Kirkwall killer. But I thought Gasgard Dupuis was the one responsible. We executed him. Could he have been playing dead? I am sure, Sirrah. He was beheaded. I will speak to my superiors and alert the city guard. They'll keep a lookout for your mother. In the meantime, you should return to where your mother was last seen. You may find some clues.
I told you already! I saw her!
Did you see where she went?
What do I get for telling you?
Here's a few silver. Buy yourself some food. And new shoes.
That's real silver, that is! I'm your man, through and through. Tell you everything I know. That lady was here. She looked like she was going to take the bridge to Hightown. But then a man came up to her. He stumbled and fell over right at her feet like he was dead. His hands were all bloody, like he'd been in a fight. The lady shook him, and I think he said, "Help!" She got him to his feet, and he was wobbly. It was funny. Anyway, they left, and that's all I saw.
What did the man look like?
He was a man. He had hair and a nose. And nice clothes. But they were all stained from the blood.
I never thought I'd curse my mother's kind-heartedness.
You could be wrong about all of this. Maybe the flowers don't mean anything.
The man left some blood. Where he fell over. You could follow it.
Why don't you do what the boy says? I'm going to go home in case Leandra shows up.
This place feels strange. Wrong.
Don't you remember? You found Ninette's hand here.
Mother must be here somewhere. We need to look around. Mother! Alessa! Mother's locket. This isn't a good sign. What is this?
Oh, that's a pretty little shrine.
The woman in the painting. She almost looks like Mother.
This man is either very devoted or very insane.
I need to find her. Now.
I was wondering when you'd show up. Leandra was so sure you'd come for her.
Mother always knew me best.
Yes, and she spoke so fondly of you. What a lovely, gentle woman. You will never understand my purpose. Your mother was chosen because she was special. And now, she is part of something greater.
You're crazy. I get it. Where's my mother?
I have done the impossible. I have touched the face of the Maker and lived. Do you know what the strongest force in the universe is? Love. I pieced her together from memory. I found her eyes, her skin, her delicate fingers. And at last, her face. Oh, this beautiful face. I've searched far and wide to find you again, beloved. And no force on this earth will part us.
Mother!
His magic was the only thing keeping her alive. I'm so sorry.
I knew you would come.
You know me? I always save the day.
Shh. Don't fret, darling. That man would have kept me trapped in here. But now, I'm free. I get to see Carver again. And your father. You'll be here alone.
I'll be fine, Mother.
My little girl has become so strong. I love you. You've always made me so proud.
Did you find her?
I'm sorry, Uncle. She's gone.
You were right about the flowers and everything. I can't believe she's gone.
You can say that over and over, but it won't change anything.
Why her? Why Leandra?
The killer used Mother to magically reconstruct his dead wife. They had the same face.
What sort of nightmarish magic is that? Oh, Maker! Maybe the Templars are right. Lock the mages up. Throw away the key.
You're happy they took Bethany away?
No, I didn't mean it like that. I wish magic hadn't touched her. She would have been better off. Magic's always run in this family. It's a curse. Now even your mother's fallen victim to it. I wish you'd never told me what that twisted son of a bitch did to her. I wish I hadn't asked. I hope you killed him. Good. I hope it hurt. I will deal with breaking the news to Bethany. You've enough on your mind. Take care, my dear.
I don't know what to say, but I am here.
Am I to blame for not saving her?
I could say no, but would that help? You were looking for forgiveness, but I'm not the one who can give it to you.